hit the go live button, StreamYards immediately said, "You're not signed into StreamYards anymore." And I'm like, what the frick is going on? So I had to re-log in and get my little, code from the email to re-log in so I could go live. So I don't know what the hell that was all about.
And you are live because I just got the notification that VileMac went live.
And I got the notification that you went live.
Okay.
But because I didn't get to play it, I'm playing the theme song now.
Well, you all must have heard I'm a real nerd. People say I'm a fool, but they never got the news that I'm a wild one. Oh yeah, I'm a wild one. You better turn it up, better keep the channel dialed, cause you're watching Wild Mike and his real wild child. Oh yeah, I'm a wild one. You better turn it up, better keep the channel dialed, cause you're watching Wild Mike and his real wild child.
Howdy, folks.
That feels much better, doesn't it? It just feels better when you play the theme song before your stream.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about on the poll.
And while you do that, I figured out how LDG has gotten those thousands of views on his video.
By cheating?
No, YouTube is using a new algorithm, voice recognition. So basically, they are picking up videos based upon what words are being said during live stream instead of hashtags. And he happened to pick out the right words for the algorithm to pick it up in order about the way YouTube is doing for algorithm watching this sort of stuff with his automated voice. YouTube is picking that up as auto recognition, and they're going by that instead of hashtags.
Oh,
It's a new
Danny
feature.
Lion says that he paid for promotional.
Well, that too, but
All right. So for this particular listing, I picked up a couple of these Minecraft plushies. They are the creeper from Minecraft. They are San Diego Comic Con exclusive, and it's going to be very hard to see, and I apologize. But on the back, each one is individually numbered, and it's a limited edition run for only 3,000 units. So each one has its own number. But I can either post these as, individual with their numbers, or I could post it as a listing where people can buy multiple, and if they buy multiple, I can give them a small discount because I have 4 of them. But the numbers wouldn't be able to be shown because I don't pay for that level of store. So, it's basically an option of giving people a chance to pick out their specific number if there's something attached to that number, or giving people a discount. So that's one of the reasons why I'm kind of conflicted on this one. The other one is part of this stream was I wanted to post enough stuff to hit 420 listings.
420, 420, yo, 420,
Yeah,
420,
I
yo.
figured a lot of you would like the whole 420 part.
Oh yeah, I will roll a joint instead of smoke a bullet to get the 420.
Now, if I do these as a single listing, I won't have enough items currently saved on this computer's hard drive to get to 420. I'll get close, but I won't get there entirely. Because
Uh,
as of right now, I'm at 405 unless someone buys something. And I have about 10 Star Trek book listings that I have planned to post. And I have about a couple of McDonald toys type thing to post as well. And then, of course, the Minecraft creepers.
of course.
So if I do these individually, that gives me 4 listings. If I do them as a single listing, it gives me, 1. So again, single listing, save people money if they want to buy more than one, or do I want to do 4 listings and let people choose what number they want?
I would say individual with the episodes on the story numbers and limited edition. Emphasize limited edition in your sales listing. That's the first words. Limited edition, Minecraft.
And he paid to have it promoted and catered to the conspiracy crowd. I wouldn't put it past him. And Bird's in the chat. How you doing, Bird?
Couple. You enjoying the snow?
StreamYards is more of a B than usual. Yeah, StreamYards has been weird lately. One of the things it did was, despite the fact that I'd made my payment to StreamYards, because yes, I do pay for StreamYards. When I got my new debit card for that account, they immediately were like, we need to have your new credit card or your new card number because we won't be able to make your payment next month. And if we don't make your, don't get it, we're going to delete your entire thing. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I actually called them up and I'm like, are you guys really going to do that? Because that's a dick move because, just because I haven't put in the new card number yet. I mean, the payment's not even due until next month, in March.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, well, no, we're not actually going to do it. But I'm like, that's still a dick move to put it into a fucking email. But yeah, I was kind of pissed about that. And then, of course, now I sign, I have the stream set up. I'm in the room. And then all of a sudden it goes, oh, you're not signed in, actually. I don't know what the hell that was.
Did you update your software?
No, I didn't update anything.
Monterey has an update.
So we got 3 votes so far for 4 listings. So once I think it'd be fair to do, once I got 10 votes on there, not including myself, that I'll go ahead and do that one. Because then I'll just, do the same thing 4 times and delete the photos for the different numbers. I do kind of like this thing. I don't know what GID charged creeper means, but I'm sure people who play Minecraft do.
A GID, GID.
GID.
Let's see. How to turn creeper into charge creeper in Minecraft. Find a creeper first. New creeper. 6 Minecraft Squish Me series. Okay. I have no idea. I'm trying to look it up, man. I don't know shit about Minecraft. Except charge creepers blue. Okay. Sorry. I'm no helpful to you this morning, dude.
I also noticed most people on eBay are already selling this thing for about $23 to $25. So I figured $20 would be a good option.
You have to
So
buy
I'm still
it now?
selling it cheaper.
Buy it now,
yeah,
20?
I would do buy it now or best offer. And if someone wants to do an offer, they can do an offer. And then if Jordan shows up, he might like some of the books I'm going to post because I'm going to post a couple of Star Trek books. So other than that, what's new with you, Elihu? Because right now I'm going to wait for the poll to get enough people.
I saw Madam Web.
Good, bad, or indifferent?
I'd rather spend the entire day hanging out with Ezra Miller than waste another hour and 48 minutes of my life.
That bad, huh?
Holy shit. I normally, okay, there's maybe 3-4 whole minutes that I actually enjoyed the entire movie. This was so bad, I could not even give it a positive thought on it. It was so cringy, such bad lines. Like, what? You never got shot in Queens before? To Ben Parker. I'm like, what the fuck was that line? Hi, Bob.
Hi, Bob.
And I'm like, what the hell is this? The costumes in the trailer. The trailer is more than a whole entire movie. You see them, okay? Like, what the hell is this? This was not the movie I was expecting it to be. It was like half mishmashed, bad editing, major bad ADR. Holy shit! You can even tell he wasn't even saying those words with that mouth. It's just
So you're saying unless it's an animated movie by Sony, their Marvel movies still suck.
They're trying to. It's a Sony product in association with Marvel. The Sony universe fucking sucks. Oh my
I know,
gosh!
Kind of like how the Venom movies aren't good, but they're not also bad, but they're not also mid. They're like just below mid.
The Venom movies actually had a plot line, story wise, had great cinematography, some action, some great lines, some great actors, some great scripts, some great moves. Madam Web, what the fuck did I just watch? You heard about straight to DVD? This is going straight to VHS in a week.
Well, I have not seen the trailer for it. I wanted to see it just because it's Spider-Man adjacent. And NB's trying to share something.
It's not Spider-Man
What are you trying to
adjacent.
share?
It's Spider-Man reference.
Oh, that's just what I'm playing right now.
Oh, risk.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's Spider-Man reference, not adjacent. It's referencing the referenced to Spider-Man. Unnamed kid. They don't name him. Oh, gee, we know who that is supposed to be.
Yeah, but that doesn't make any sense because they're supposed to be Aunt May and Uncle Ben.
There is no. Oh my gosh. Ben Parker has met this nice woman.
Madam Web,
no name.
Madam Web hasn't really appeared all that often in Spider-Man comic books. And I don't think that she should have gotten her own movie until she was introduced beforehand.
Cassandra should have had her own movie before Madam Web, with Madam Web supporting. It should have been a Cassandra movie.
Cassandra, which Cassandra?
Spider Girl. Black and white.
I'm not even familiar with that one.
Oh.
Is this a new one that I'm not familiar with?
I think she got introduced like 2003, 2004.
Sorry, I'm going into the Marvel wiki real quick.
Or was it Anya? That was Spider Girl. I forgot who.
Okay, when I look up Cassandra Spider Girl, Madam Web is what pops up. So apparently it's the original Madam Web. And yeah, I did know Cassandra Webb was that, but I didn't know who Spider Girl was.
Yeah, she's one of the Spider-Man's friends, allies who got spider powers. Basically a female Spider-Man, but kick-ass, more acrobatic, black and white. Pretty cool.
Because I do, like they're mentioning here, The Gathering of Five. I do remember that whole storyline from, because that's what ended the Clone Saga. Mm-hmm. And that's what introduced one of my favorite replacement Spider-Man characters. Because after The Gathering of Five, Peter Parker quit being Spider-Man for a while.
And the Scarlet Spider.
No, this was at that point Ben Reilly was Spider-Man, but Peter Parker was also Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
They just wore different costumes, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But during the Gathering of Five, during the Gathering of Five is basically when Ben Reilly died.
I think she was introduced about the time Ock took over Parker's body.
No. That was long. That was like 10 years prior.
Oh.
So, but the Gathering of Five, each person was supposed to inherit some sort of power or detriment, and Norman was trying to get the one that basically gave him more power, but instead a girl named Maddie Franklin got the power, and he got further insanity as his gift. And when Peter Parker quit being Spider-Man because of Ben Reilly dying, Maddie Franklin put on the Spider-Man costume, and she was Spider-Man for a while. And the reason she's one of my favorite characters who took up the mantle of Spider-Man for a while was, one, she didn't care that she was portraying Spider-Man even though she was a girl. Two, she didn't have his spider sense. He didn't have his webbing. She just wore a similar costume and tried to do good. Because literally, on her own, she had the whole, I have this power, it's my responsibility to use it to save people. And that's why I like her. Insanity doesn't sound like a cool gift. Well, not all the gifts were supposed to be good. Let's see, there was, you would either be blessed or cursed with either power, knowledge, immortality, insanity, or death. So one person got insanity, one person got death, one person got knowledge, one person got power, and one person gets immortality. And Norman was trying to get one of the good ones, but he ended up getting insanity. Considering he was already insane, that's kind of funny.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, and I even put this on hard today. And the Fog of War. Oh, no.
Oh, in case you guys haven't looked, a new cast member has been added to Deadpool Wolverine.
Who's that?
Patrick Stewart.
Oh God!
Thank you for ruining it for me, Elihu. I haven't even watched the trailer because I didn't want to, because I wanted to be shocked by everything.
You're welcome.
So thank you for that spoiler. The only thing that I've seen is that image of Deadpool standing next to Wolverine in the yellow costume.
Oh, it's a nice trailer.
So quite literally, the only thing I knew was that Wolverine was going to be in it, and he's in the yellow costume. That's it. And now you've just told me that Professor X is, or Patrick Stewart's Professor X is going to be in it too. So thank you.
It's on IMDb. It was added this morning.
I try to avoid shit like that so I can enjoy the fucking movies, Elihu. And Mrs. Vile's in the chat, so everybody say hi.
Hola, Miss Cardenas. She's on her Facebook.
Well, she's on Facebook a lot more than I am. Well, we got 4 votes so far. Just trying to wait for until I get 10.
I don't have any alternate accounts.
Unless I get 5 for this the single listings, then I'll just do that for that, because at 5, it's either going to be a tie or it wins. So
Need more coffee. Be right back.
Oh, damn, that was loud. Oh, what the bad guys do.
Well, and Daniel does make a point. We kind of knew about Patrick Stewart because of the Marvels, yes, but we didn't know that his character was going to be in Deadpool. At least I didn't. I knew that they're fixing to do the whole merging of the timelines thing. And okay, she says, sorry, Doctor Strange too. Yeah, you're right still. The Marvels did have an ending where one of the characters is in the X-Men universe now.
Yeah, the Marvels.
But,
did anybody actually watch the Marvels?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I did, and I actually enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's why I did. Interesting. That's why I said Ezra Miller instead of the Marvels.
I mean, the Marvels was not bad, but it still has a very lacking villain, which is something that a lot of Marvel movies have.
Yeah, I think we've established that one.
What did Madam Web make? $6 million this weekend? Just $6 million?
Dude, the weekend's not even over yet. I don't know. Let me check out Box Office Mojo.
I don't care. I
Well,
wasn't
it's
gonna
second
get
to
any-
Bob Marley. Well, the Bob Marley movie is.
Oh, hell yeah.
That I'd be willing to see if I had time.
I saw the trailer. I gotta see that. One Love.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, I'll probably catch it when it comes out on streaming. So, Madam Web so far has made 12 million.
Oh, wow. Oh, holy shit. Ouch. Oh, my gosh. Well, Dakota got paid.
Yeah, but don't forget she fired her agent. She fired her talent after that.
Mm.
After the trailer came out, she fired her entire talent. Or she fired her talent agency.
You blame her?
No.
Wait, sorry. Say that again. Who fired their talent agency?
The Dakota Johnson, she, as soon as after the trailer dropped, it was determined, it was stated she fired her talent agency.
Yeah, she even said this movie was not what she thought it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah. They pulled a Halle Berry on her, basically.
Oh,
All right.
yeah.
What is her name again?
Dakota Johnson, I believe.
Okay, because I'm going to see if there's anything that she's been in that I've actually watched / enjoyed. Because I don't think I've seen anything that she's ever been in.
Well, I didn't watch 50 Shades of Grey, so I can definitely tell you I didn't see that.
Same here. I did not see it.
No interest.
Like, if I wanted to watch something like that, I've got Pornhub.
Watch Secretary. It's a lot better. Better plot line.
Well, you say that, Elihu, but when I watched Secretary, I saw it because I'm like, oh, I like Jake Gyllenhaal. Oh, I like, or not Jake Gyllenhaal. I like,
Maddie
Maddie
Gyllenhaal.
it was Spader, right?
I forgot the guy's name.
But I'm like, oh, Maggie Gyllenhaal, Spader, or I think it was Spader. I'm like, I like those guys. Let me watch that. Then I'm watching the movie and I'm like, what the fuck am I watching?
I was watching this movie not too long ago. I don't remember the name of it. You probably know it. I was actually surprised how much I enjoyed it. It's this movie about a chef who brings everybody to this island. And he's
The
like,
Menu.
The Menu, yes. I was actually surprised at how much I enjoyed that movie.
I actually liked it quite a bit as well.
I was like, this is, well, my whole thing was, I was like, this is unique. This is good story writing. I'm like, you know, you're trying to watch the plot of the show and you're like, you realize he knows this. He's like, you're not supposed to be here. You know, you weren't supposed to be part of this. You know, he's making a point, and it's just so interesting how it goes, and it shows the abuse he's gone through. And, you know, when, you know, I'm not going to spoil the movie for anybody who hadn't seen it, but I was blown away at how much I enjoyed that movie.
Okay, going through the Dakota Johnson's filmography, the only thing that I know for sure that I've seen and enjoyed was 21 Jump Street. Apparently she played one of the minor characters.
And by the way, I got to say, dandelions are allowed as long as you're not a tulip or carnation.
Oh, she was also in Need for Speed with Simone. So I also enjoyed that one, but
That's a clue, Mike. Somebody's backstage.
I don't think I actually saw the Need for Speed movie.
Hello. Dandelions can't be tulips or carnations, although I like carnations. They're excellent cut flowers. They last for a long time. And most of the garden ones smell delightful.
Hey, you got to put half an aspirin in the water.
Oh, you're going to sit here
okay,
and
she was also in Black Mass, but I've heard good things about it, but I have not seen that yet.
Oh,
But yeah, everything else she's been in, I have no interest in watching, except for Madam Web. But that's only because I'm a comic book fan and specifically a Spider-Man fan.
It seems unfortunate that they made a boring movie, because if you're going to introduce a like a lesser known, like a character that's not well known to the general public, you need to make that movie awesome. So even if your opening weekend is a little weak, you want good word of mouth to get out about your movie so that next weekend everyone's like, oh, I heard this is awesome, I want to go see it.
Yeah, what was some sleeper hitters we used to see back in the day that we weren't sure about, but
Well, like
there was-
Iron Man. Who knew
Yeah,
Iron Man was like a lesser known character, and they made a good movie that people enjoyed. I don't know if it was like
hold on.
Iron Man was one of the lowest IP sellers, so they wanted to try to promote something when they was doing the Marvel Phase 1. They're like, okay, which character should we use? Who is really known? So they
right.
took Iron Man. Like, okay,
Well, here's
not
the thing.
really known about Iron Man.
Personally, I don't consider Iron Man, even back then, that low of an IP, because I enjoyed and watched the Iron Man cartoon series of the 90s.
Yeah, but you got to understand but Mike, you have to understand, just because of that did not mean that those movies were necessarily very popular characters. I mean, if you really look at it, I mean, if we're just being honest about it, the biggest character in Marvel is Spider-Man.
Or Hulk.
Spider-Man. No. You are so wrong, Elias. Spider-Man is their flagship.
I said Spider-Man, yes. Hulk, Thor.
No.
Even Thor was lesser known.
Spider-Man,
not even close, buddy.
And then the rest of the X-Men as a group. Yeah.
Most characters, their staple has been Spider-Man for a long time. Yes, Wolverine is popular, but he's probably a distant second. I mean, we are talking miles distance.
Mm-hmm.
If we're being freaking honest here. And then Captain America, he's been around since the 40s, obviously, but him, Thor, Hulk, these characters were known to us in geek culture, but they weren't like staples all the time. Yes, certain ones consistently sold, but then, you had some of my personal favorites like Ghost Rider, Silver Surfer. Two of my favorites that I would say, I'm sorry to say, I got to say they're C-list characters. Silver Sable and the Wildcats was another comic I very much love, but I'm not going to sit here and say they were A-list characters.
Silver Sable, when she turned into a good guy, ironically through a Spider-Man arc in the original comic books.
I remember.
That whole group, especially when Sandman joined them, was a really good comic book for a while.
Oh, I remember that. I remember Sandman was like when he started on Silver Sable and the Wildcats. I remember that arc because he's like, I tried to join the Avengers, but they got pissed at me. I remember him just saying those words. I can't believe I remember that. But yeah, there were certain comics like that. One of the reasons I was not a huge fan of like the Avengers or even to a point the X-Men is there was too many people in these groups and you didn't know who was going to be in the next comic book. And to me, that got frustrating. So I didn't really bother with things like the Avengers and, well, I mean, I did follow X-Men. I think X-Men was the next one because I did read like X-Men Blue and X-Men Red. I think that's what they were called.
Have you seen the new X-Men 97 trailer?
Blue and gold. It was blue and gold.
Eli, you saw me put a screenshot of it with Gambit charging up Wolverine's claws.
No, I'm asking Mike, has he seen it? I know you've seen it, dude. I'm like, that was awesome. I love that part. But Mike, have you seen the X-Men 97 trailer?
No, because I try to avoid trailers so I don't get disappointed.
Then what's the point of a trailer if you're not even going to watch it?
When
it comes to certain when it comes to certain franchises, it's completely different because I know I'm going to want to watch it anyway. Like most Marvel movies, most DC movies, I'm going to watch anyway because I'm a fan of the comic books. Star Trek, Star Wars, I can avoid those trailers because I'm going to watch it anyway. It's the franchises I'm not too familiar with that a trailer will attract me.
One of the ones I've seen a lot of people talk about, and this is the thing I've seen on some of the sites I regularly follow, and I'm kind of like, oh, shut the fuck up. I mean, these are actual websites these are actual YouTube channels I regularly go to for different things, but I was like, they're like, oh my God, look at the Marvel trailer, look what they did to Morph. they're making Morph non-binary. I'm like, Morph is a changeling. He can shapeshift. If you're going to do non-binary, it makes fucking sense for that character.
Yep. It's like, he already was non-binary. Get over yourselves.
Kind of like people who was like, "Oh, aliens the best. They've been up at any trans or gay people." Really? There's a character who says that they're trans in the description of the character profile in the movie.
Yeah, people just kind of forgot a lot of that stuff.
But I
don't think people realized how much the trans community was represented in the past, and now that it's so everything in the past.
Now that it's the current boogeyman.
Yeah, now it's the current boogeyman.
Boogeyman du jour.
They gotta fight it all.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was my whole thing. Like when I heard that come up, I was just like, oh, he's changed his appearance. He's going with a more, non-binary look. I'm like, what? He's going with, we don't know what he originally looked like. For all we know, that was just the shape he was taking at the time. He's a shapeshifter. I was watching this, I like The Boys because I love the satire in it. And I started watching a little bit of Generation V. I'm not overly into it, but I did like this one character who can switch between male and female. And I love this one. And they each when they switch, I'll actually use that they switch because it's appropriate for this topic. Yep. When they're female, they have a set of powers. When they're male, they have a set of powers. And there's this one line in it where it was like, why'd you choose female tonight? Free drinks. And I was like, oh, yes. I was like, absolutely. I would do the same fucking thing.
Okay, that was funny.
Yep.
I just heard free drinks. I was like, oh my God, every guy. Nice. It was such a funny ass line. And I was like, it fit. I mean, seriously, if you're going to use non-binary term, a shapeshifter makes perfect sense.
Absolutely.
Okay, Envy, that little story reminds me of a time when I was younger, I had just gotten dumped by a girl, and a friend of mine who happened to be gay was like, you know what? I'm going to take you out. We're going to go to a gay bar, and we'll make you feel better. And I'm like, how is going to a gay bar going to make me feel better, dude?
You'd be surprised.
And he goes, just trust me. Well, within the first 20 minutes of being there, 3 guys bought me drinks because I was cute. And you know what? Even though I told them I'm not gay, I accepted their drinks, and I was knowing that people thought I was cute made me feel really good.
Absolutely.
Whether you're gay or not.
Gay dudes are just awesome to hang out with. I'm sorry, I have like quite a few friends who are gay, and
I've got
I always have a fun time.
Well, but
because it's very right. It's like there's never any strings, right? You can like flirt with them, and like you can like hit on other guys, and you kind of do it together. It's just like it's just they're just fun to hang out with.
When I was in,
the ones I know, anyway. I'm sure some of them are assholes, just like everybody else. But
oh yeah.
You're always going to have that.
But I don't know. I always have good times when I hang out. I have one friend who we actually go on like vacations together, and it's just always so much fun.
Wow, Jordan showed up. Oh my gosh!
Hey, hey, Jordan.
When I was
he must have heard that I after I do this, I'll be posting some Star Trek books.
When I was in rehab in 2016, I met a good group of people. We were dealing with stuff, and one of the guys there, I ended up striking up a friendship with, and I asked him just a question. I said, "You married? You got a girlfriend?" He goes, "I'm gay." I was like, "Oh, got a boyfriend?" I just loved it. And thing was, it was kind of funny. He actually thought I was attractive, and he kept telling me. I was like, "Okay."
You need glasses?
I was like, I literally said that to him. I'm like, "Do you need glasses or something, dude?" At this point, I'm like, "Okay, we got to talk about your taste in men." It's like,
nice.
We're going to talk about your taste in men here, buddy. I think you're a little off on it. But it was so hilarious. No, but
I guess don't be attracted to straight guys. It's probably a good.
This is not for you, man.
No, it was funny because I told him, I was like, look, you are not the first guy to ever try to get me to turn gay. It's always flattering, but I'm sorry, it's just never going to happen. He's like, oh, we'll see, just being funny and everything. We had a good time with it.
Yeah.
Because there was no reason for me to get pissy about it. He was a good guy,
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. Treat people like people. That's what I say.
Although I did have to tell him one time he crossed the line with me, and what it was is he came up behind me and started rubbing my shoulders, and I said, buddy, it ain't got nothing to do with the fact that you're gay. I don't like people coming up behind me and touching me, ever. I have a certain issue with people like looking over my shoulder and everything, and I told him, he goes, oh, I get it. He goes, I'm sorry, and I was like, nothing more needs to be said.
Really? I did that wrong? What the hell? Ugh, fuck.
What?
Oh, I'm sewing a knitting project together, and I didn't get the stitches lined up quite right.
Oh, well. I gotta pull that string.
No. I'm not gonna pull any strings. It's just not.
Oh, Jordan says I'm too poor to buy books at the moment. I literally only have 32 cents. Don't worry, Jordan. I'm pretty sure that they'll be there, or at least some of them will still be there. I mean, it's not like books are a high seller, but I put them on anyway because I enjoy selling that kind of stuff. So remember, this whole store only makes a couple hundred a month. It's not like I depend on this money. It's more of to pay for things that I'd have to pay out of my paycheck otherwise.
Your supplemental income.
My storage, my cell phone bill, my car insurance, that kind of stuff.
Supplemental income's a little hard to come by these days.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, you can't stuff envelopes anymore.
Jeez, I thought I put this. Damn, and I put the AI on hard for this.
Hey, Mike, do you know lots about different like card games and stuff? Because I bought a couple of games for my niece, but I have no idea if they're going to be any good.
Depends. Well, I played a bunch of them, but I wouldn't call myself an expert.
Okay. Does anyone know the game? This card game called Trash Pandas. I just thought that Trash Pandas seemed fun.
Ask Coco. She knows all about pandas.
Oh no, you can't see because I'm under the thingy. Oh well, never mind.
Oh,
no, hold on. I can do that.
So there's one called Trash Pandas. Trash is treasure. In this card game, paw through the deck to find sets of day-old pizza, half-eaten candy, and other luscious. She's like turning, I think, 11 or 12. Half-eaten candy, blah, blah, blah. Roll the dice, tip over the garbage can, or raid a rival's rubbish. Oh, no. There's a doggo standing. It just sounded kind of fun. And then her name is Hannah. And so I got her this game, which is Taco Cat, which I thought was fun because it sounds like a bit of a palindrome game. So I thought she might enjoy that with her name being Hannah, which, palindrome.
Yeah.
So
I think she might like the Trash Panda.
Yeah, I thought so.
It's kind of like picking and choose.
You can unindigging me now.
You play as cars like Uno and Go.
Yeah, those are. I've played similar games to that. In fact, Munchkin is a game like that.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed Munchkin very much so.
Good.
To the point where me and the eldest vile child used to play it quite a bit.
Nice. Good. That's good to hear then. As I mean, it's always hard to kind of just pick out games, but I know they used to enjoy playing games all together. So I'm assuming they still on occasion play all, games together. So I figured I'd introduce some new ones into the thingy.
I remember when I remember one time we tried to play Trivial Pursuit with my friends, and we were just like, fuck this shit. We'll smoke some cigarettes and watch TV.
I love Trivial Pursuit. Trivial Pursuit is awesome.
Trivial Pursuit sucks.
I'm terrible at Trivial Pursuit. I mean, and I know a lot of dumb trivia, and that game, no.
Well, if you want to talk specific, generic Trivial Pursuit, yeah. Then they have Trivial Pursuit Genius Edition. Then they have Trivial Pursuit Kids Edition. Then they have TV, movies, cartoon, Trivial Pursuit, all the other genres.
Oh shit! There's a new advanced. No shoot! There's a new map set up here for 337 jewels, 4 new maps. Well, that works for me. Me is New Zealand, Australia advanced, Roman Empire advanced, United States advanced. Ooh, Ottoman Empire advanced. I like doing the Ottoman Empire. I already have the money for it. I already have the money already in there. So screw it. Jesus Christ, how many maps do I even have anymore?
Apparently, the Taco Cat game is by the same people who created Exploding Kittens, which I think is,
Exploding Kittens.
you know the game Exploding Kittens?
I haven't played that one, but I know my kids liked it.
I'm not playing a game where I blow up cats. That's just not going to happen.
I don't think it's quite that. I think it's different than that.
It's more of think of it like Angry Birds, where one of them's a bomb.
Yeah.
So,
it's not.
So NB does not want to play a game with exploding cats, but he's willing to play a game where he cuts into somebody and he gets buzzed if he touches the sides. Wow.
Hey man, like I said, when it comes to my neighbor and me and his dogs, I don't blame the dogs. I blame the master. So who do you think I'd like to beat the hell out of?
Well, hopefully nobody, but.
Oh no, that's not me. I'm a pacifist. Which means
you pass this fist onto this fist.
I love that. There's that. I love that one. I love that line I heard. I can't remember where it's from, but it was one of the funny ones. Is I'm gonna hit you with so many rights, you're gonna beg for a left. Oh shit! I gotta think about something. Can I actually pull that up? Do I still have that list printed? My wife wanted me to pick classic movies for the kids to watch that I would think that they haven't seen. So here's my list of movies, and this is kind of all over the place. So just bear with me here. These are movies I know most of my kids have never seen so far.
How old are your kids?
Well, I'm talking about the two that are still at my house. So 16 and 13.
Okay. I just needed an age range, so I had an idea,
And my 13-year-old and her girlfriend are very into horror. So we've had a good couple of times doing some great horror stuff together. I've introduced them some good horror movies. They got into this.
Can't see what that is.
Yeah, you can't see it because of the black and white. But I bought the Tales from the Crypt series from back on the HBO days.
Oh.
Yeah, we watched two episodes together. They loved it. They watched the other four. They thought that was good. So here's the movies I picked out that I think are classics that they should watch. Old Yeller, Where the Red Fern Grows, Terminator T2, Aliens, Ghost, Gremlins, Jaws, The Crow, Kindergarten Cop, RoboCop, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Lost Boys, Caddyshack, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, Road Warrior, They Live, and somehow my kids have still not seen E.T. yet. I don't know what the hell I did wrong there.
Maybe put Old Yeller lower down on that list. I don't know. I mean, that one's just depressing. I mean, it's not even a particularly fun movie. Like,
no, if you want to watch a fun movie, classic, Journey of Nettie Gann.
Oh, I think
that was a good one.
Yeah,
I think my wife had on her list Homeward Bound, which is a really great movie.
OG Homeward Bound.
the first one.
Liked the book. I liked the book more than I liked the movies.
I don't know. The movie has, at least the first movie has a bunch of really good lines. Like, he bit me with his butt.
Yeah. That was pretty funny.
If you're looking for some, old stuff to watch, go look up some old episodes of Littlest Hobo.
I don't even know what that is.
That's a Canadian show. It's about this dog that kind of wanders from place to place, sort of a la Incredible Hulk. And he solves mysteries and stuff like that. Back from the 70s. It's a Canadian show. You can find it on YouTube though. It's pretty awful, but it's also kind of awesome. And it has an awesome theme song.
I think it's funny when I look up Lassie, and I don't think people realize who've watched Lassie realize how long Lassie actually was on the air in various different forms. A lot of people don't know Lassie was actually originally the first series was called Jeff's Calling. And that was before Timmy. Timmy came later.
And Timmy never fell down a well.
I don't know if he ever did or not. I can't remember.
Nope.
It's hard to find, though. Finding a Lassie show is very hard to find.
They don't have it on, like, there's not some on YouTube.
How come Goonies is not on your list?
We've already seen Goonies.
Okay.
I have Goonies. I have the what do they call them? The silver box of Goonies.
Okay.
Have you seen like the old Escape from Witch Mountain or Escape to Witch Mountain? That was a good one. I liked that when I was a kid.
Yes.
Prom was
very
better
much.
than.
And
Prom
that's
was
on
better
Disney
than
Plus too. If you have Disney Plus, because
I
I
did.
rewatched
the original, not the remake, the original.
Yeah, it's got to be the oldie days one.
Oh, for God's sakes! I'm not talking about the one with the rock in it. I'm talking about the
Okay.
original.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yes.
I very well remember that RV.
Yeah,
That
because you
thing
still see those old RVs on the
Now
road.
they're upside down. How are they upside down? It's not even supposed to fly. They're not upside down. We are.
They are.
Yeah. Oh God,
What
that's
was the
so-
cat's name? Winky?
I think so.
I think the black cat was Winky, and she had that
think
star
so.
map.
Yeah.
And I can't remember. He had the power to move things with his harmonica. And what was her power?
She could like read minds or something.
Yeah, and
Couldn't
she had
she?
premonitions, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. And I cannot remember the name of the old guy who was in that movie, but he was a legend at the time.
Oh, he was in every Disney movie.
He was just a fun old curmudgeon.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot his name. Damn.
Now, one movie I was surprised. I looked on Disney Plus and I cannot find it there. And it's one of their more obscure ones, Watcher in the Woods.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I heard of that one.
Oh, that one was freaky as fuck.
Was that a Disney one though?
Yes, Watcher in the Woods was a Disney movie.
Huh.
But that
Yeah,
wasn't like a super old one though, was it? That was a little more recent, like within,
No, it was it was a 1980 American.
Yeah, but it was after
horror.
the 70s.
Yeah, but I'm certain this. Yeah, it was produced by Walt Disney.
Hmm.
It's definitely well outside their scope. Oh, it had Betty Davis in it.
And didn't they like do a remake on that one too?
Oh, that I guess they. Oh, I guess there was a 2017 one.
Yeah, that was probably the
It
one
was
I
made
missed.
for television. No, I'm not going to watch a made for television remake of a classic like this. What's another one? Oh, there's a movie I've been trying to find for a long time that I watched as a kid. Let me see if I remember the name of it. I think it was called. Is this the right name?
Right.
Yeah, The Child of Glass. That was another Walt Disney movie. That's why I remember these, because we used to have them on VHS back in the day.
Oh,
Those are actually two movies I've been wanting to see again, and surprisingly enough, Disney Plus doesn't have them on there.
of course.
Freaking annoying. It's like, what's the point of making a whole new catalog, making all this catalog? You ain't gonna put your old stuff on. Yeah, no Child of Glass.
I need more coffee. Be right back.
Well, at least they have escaped to Witch Mountain.
Yep, they do. Because I rewatched that one again more recently. Now, if I were my knitting needles, where would I have put them?
Somebody's calling me.
Where did I put my knitting needles? Like I had them 2 minutes ago. Oh, there they are. There they are.
Hey, Mike.
What?
Member of the Anti-Planetary Spherical Society is backstage.
Yeah, just give me the needle marinade.
Thank you. I'm focused on the posting, so I wasn't paying attention.
Looking for Peter David books, huh?
No, I've been part of my goal during this live stream is to get to 420 listings on my eBay store.
Why?
Because the more stuff I have, the more ability I have to sell.
Mm-hmm.
And it's 420. 420.
Yeah,
yo,
the 420 goal is just because I hit 400 last night.
Somebody mentioned Child of Glass.
Yeah, I did.
1978, part of the Dark Disney era. Yeah. Had Olivia Barish in it. She was the little Creole girl, or not Creole, the little girl ghost. And earlier that year, she was in the Incredible Hulk pilot.
Oh, was he?
She was, yeah.
Oh, okay.
She was the little girl that was fishing and then got scared of the Hulk and jumped into the water, and then he tried to help her by grabbing a dead tree and holding it out into the lake for her to grab, and then her father shot him. Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken, wasn't that reminiscent? The whole point of that was reminiscent from Frankenstein.
Yeah, it was meant, it was purposefully reminiscent of the deleted scene, one of the first deleted scenes in movies of Boris Karloff's Frankenstein throwing a little girl into a lake.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That did get removed, didn't it?
Yeah, but it was put in. Mel Brooks put his version of it in. And
then eventually on home video they put it all back in because that was deemed too much.
There was a remaster or an attempted reconstruction of that film where they did put it in, but you can tell by the film quality of that particular scene being much worse than the rest of the film because they had to splice it from a lesser quality version.
Yeah. And then the cut that I grew up with was where he meets the little girl. She's throwing the petals into the lake, and he's also doing it. And then he grabs her, and then they cut to the next scene, and then a couple scenes later they show the little girl having drowned in the lake. They have her body there soaking wet, and the actual scene of her of him throwing her in the lake was cut, but it was put back in subsequent home video releases. They washed it through the computer a couple of times to help get it up to where it needed to be. But yeah, that was deemed too intense for audiences back then.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but it fits with the story. I mean, unfortunately, he didn't know. One, she couldn't swim. They were having fun. He just was trying to have fun with her, not realizing what he was doing.
Yeah, we know that today. But I mean, back then they just didn't want to see a little girl essentially get murdered.
Well, yeah.
She didn't die on screen. She just couldn't swim and then sunk beneath the surface of the lake, and that was it. But I mean, that was again, that was Frankenstein was already a pretty intense movie for that year anyway. The scene where his hand moves after being electrified, it's alive. That knocked people's socks off back then. That was really something.
Well, I didn't realize this. It's been so long since I've seen Escape to Witch Mountain. I didn't realize they actually cast two characters with similar hair colors, and they look like siblings between their freckles and their hair colors.
Yeah. I saw that in the theater. Return. I saw Return from Witch Mountain. The kids were a little bit older in that one.
That's the
sequel. Escape Witch Mountain was the first one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Return.
I didn't realize we had someone else.
Hello.
Hey,
He's got a new thing on my
hey,
channel,
John.
John Gill.
Wow,
Right.
that's a stranger.
How you doing?
I posted it in the chat and the private chat. We haven't been properly introduced yet, but we know many of the same people, I think.
John
John, I
Hank.
came in here to I came in here to get away from you. Why are you following me into this live stream? I should have never telegraphed where I was going in the underground. I should have said, okay, I gotta go by, and then I should have come
Stop
here.
using that Rush. Stop using that damn Russian site, okay?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. So. And
How you
now,
doing? How you doing, John?
As it always happens whenever John enters the stream, everything gets real quiet.
We're trying to understand his accent. That's why.
Look
Well,
who's talking, Darren.
For once, I will be mostly quiet during one of my own streams because I am trying to post stuff. So
I'm currently picking up knitting stitches, so I'm quiet too because I'm concentrating.
I'm currently loading a bowl. I can still talk.
So
Yeah, we're all taking the opportunity that there's a new person to like not talk. Like, oh, good, someone else is here. I don't have to say things.
So did you like Peter David's New Frontier, Mike?
I loved it. To me, it's what Star Trek Discovery and a lot of New Trek tries to be.
Right. Yeah.
It is essentially Star Trek with more progressive issues, more sex, more violence, and more action.
Right. Yeah. I read the first book and I got kind of disappointed in it just because Peter David, it was obvious what he was doing. He was taking everybody's favorite, guest stars from TNG basically and sticking them on a ship together. And then you had one character that they never could have done on a television budget back then. Like the security officer that was made out of rock. He was basically the Thing.
Yeah.
But and then of course Mackenzie Calhoun, the captain, was sort of like he was like almost like a benevolent version of Lorca.
Okay. Did you ever read? There was a previous Star Trek book that Peter David did for the Star Trek: The Next Generation series, where he introduced a character that was kind of a prototype to Mackenzie Calhoun. Very similar in almost every way, except for, at the end of the book, he ends up leaving Starfleet because his ideas of how to be a captain are not necessarily within the ideals of Starfleet. So that's why he ends up leaving.
I didn't read whatever the book that is. It doesn't sound familiar, but I do know that when Mackenzie Calhoun took the Kobayashi Maru test, his solution was to kill the Kobayashi Maru. Because because if they got captured by the Klingons, they'd be tortured and killed in horrible ways. Better that they die in space instantly. So he just torpedoed them, and left, and that didn't sit well.
You should not mention the Kobayashi Maru anymore because in classic Trek it was mentioned 2 times, and in new Trek it's mentioned like 4 billion times.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna mention it because it was in that book. But anyway.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because in the novels, the various pocketbook novels, they always like because by the TNG era, it was a test of character to see. The idea was how you could outsmart the simulation. Where in Kirk's era, it was a simple test to see how a captain dealt with a no-win scenario. So it was interesting to see how it changed. I think Geordie LaForge tried to remotely repair the Kobayashi Maru from within, from still within Federation space, and stuff like that. It was an interesting idea. But you had Commander Shelby from Bust of Both Worlds was Calhoun's first officer, and they had been married. So you have this, and now they were divorced. So when I saw the Orville show, I thought, oh yeah, this is where I've seen that idea for the idea of 2 divorcees, commanding a ship together.
I don't think they were married. I just think they dated.
Well, she refers to Mike and Mackenzie Calhoun. in it. Yeah. So and of course, Ronnie Cox's character Jellicoe was their admiral, commanding admiral. But yeah.
But I think that Darren, I don't know the Navy, but I know they do that in the MPs, that they test you from the beginning what you can hold up to. They provoke you in the first
of course. Yeah.
first interviews. They provoke the fuck out of you. The F out of you. Sorry.
Dude, what the fuck you talking about, man? There's no fucking swearing on this goddamn channel, okay? So watch your fucking mouth.
Yeah, sorry.
Right. Don't be provoked by that idiot. Okay. Just let him have his little outbursts, and then that's it. Yeah, you're right. She married Calhoun. It says when the series began, Shelby served as first officer of the Excalibur under Calhoun. Their relationship was decidedly platonic, but has since married Calhoun. So,
Yes.
So that happened. That happened later in the series. I know one of the things I thought was really stupid was the Excalibur was originally an ambassador class ship, and then it got destroyed. And then they get a new Galaxy class one, and they call it the Excalibur A. I don't like that they keep doing that. With it made sense for the Enterprise to get the letter treatment at the end of 1701, but to me that should be kept special and mostly an Enterprise thing. You just not every the registry numbers don't need to have the letter treatment. Just give it another registry number, especially when you get past 4 digits.
Well, take this way. Up until we had no other ship that got the letter attachment to it.
Right.
Even when we were looking at DS9, we had the Defiant from the TOS, and then the Defiant in DS9. It had a separate registry.
No, it didn't. Not on the show. It had the same registry as the original Defiant because they had to use the same model shots. And in the books, it later got the A put in front of the name, but not on the actual show. It was, in fact, it's read on the show that they had special dispensation to change the name and registry number of this Apollo to that of the Defiant. And so
yeah, but the Defiant, the Constitution class Defiant, and the Defiant class, they had 2 different registries.
Right, they did because they were over 90 years apart. That's why.
But so were the Enterprises.
No, they weren't.
I mean, there was a B and C, but
B and C. I mean, yeah, and then C was destroyed. But see, the other thing is that the Enterprise D, according to the various canonically endorsed sources, had a development period of like 20 years. So the Enterprise C was destroyed. The Galaxy class was this ship that took 20 years to design and build, and so that's the longest gap. But I mean, just like, for example, we see like the Titan A, right? I liked the Titan A in Picard, but the Titan, in my opinion, wasn't a storied enough ship to get the letter treatment. It should have just got another registry number. That way with the I think the Yamato might have also had a letter. I don't remember.
I was going to bring that up. What is your opinion as a nerd between the different registry numbers between the Yamato in Where Silence Has Lease and the Yamato in what was the Contagion?
Well, Where Silence Has Lease, the Yamato didn't actually show up. That was an artificial.
That was a fake, yes, but they thought it was the real one. They read the registry number. And
I'm just going to interrupt for 2 seconds. I got to head out. I'm going to go do some other stuff. So I chat with you all.
Thanks for being here, though, Dandelion.
Yeah, have fun, everybody. It looks like you got lots of people on your panel today, so my presence is no longer required. Just kidding. Have a good week. I'll see you. I'll see you next
Presence is
Sunday.
always required, Danny.
Later, Dandelion.
Nice to see you guys.
Yeah, the a lot of things in the second season of TNG got overwritten later on, and the Amato's registry number was just like that. It had a very different registry number in the artificial one than it did the But I mean, you were dealing with an alien that altered reality, so
Yes,
you know.
but they accepted the false one as real. They read
Well,
the
right. They
registry number.
looked up the registry number. How do you know the registry number in the computer wasn't altered by Nagilum? He had the ability to alter the reality within that laboratory environment of his. So, it's one of those things that we overlook. I mean, and in the second season, they said that the Klingons were part of the Federation. Later, they established they weren't. In Unnatural Selection, you had a Federation science station that was genetically engineering children, and then later they said that genetic engineering had been outlawed and had been outlawed for many years, and that's why Bashir's family, dad had to go to prison because he sent his son to a off-world to get genetically tinkered with. And so, I mean, there's a lot of things that they established in the second season that got replaced or retconned later.
It just gets a little bit harder when it comes to numbers, like registry numbers.
Yeah.
Well, the original USS Defiant was 1764. That was the Constitution class one. Then we get to the USS Defiant, and this is where we got into the 5-digit registry number, because it was NX 74205. So it had a completely different registry number.
Right, it was a completely different ship. I mean, you look at submarines, right? The original Trepang was SS 412, and then mine was SSN 674. You don't need to have the registry number be the same. We didn't call it the 412A. It's something that I think should be kept for extremely storied ships. Like ones with names that, like for example, the idea that the Starfleet will always have a ship called the Enterprise, and they won't go very long without having a ship called the Enterprise because they like that name. But that's fine. But if you have a ship like my own ship, right, my fanfic ship, the Halibut, if it gets destroyed and replaced by another ship, I'm not going to call it the Halibut A. I'm just it'll be called the Halibut, but it'll have a different registry number because it's not a storied ship. It's not a.
All right, I have a question for you then.
The fish? You're naming it after that fish?
You should see my video about the halibut on my channel when you have a chance.
All right, I have a question for you then, Darren. Because I similarly have my own ship, the SS Vial, which is not a commissioned ship.
Right.
But if it ever gets destroyed, hint, hint, in a possible future video, I fully intend to give it a letter A, but I was going to give it a different registry number because that's just the type of person I am. Mm-hmm. So it's going to have a different registry, but it's going to be the SS Vial A. So it's in the name that's going to have the A, not in the registry number. That was my idea. So what are your thoughts about that?
Well, the only reason we put the letter in the name is that's a colloquial shorthand, so that we don't have to give the entire registry number. Because it's like when we talk about the Enterprise B, the Enterprise C, they're not called Enterprise C. That's not their name, but we're including that letter so that you know which Enterprise we're talking about. It's not an official deal, But I mean. So it's not a commissioned ship, so it would be an NAR ship instead of an NCC?
Well, right now it's an NAR.
Okay.
National Rifle Association?
No, it's on Star Trek in the TNG era. Civilian ships had, a lot of them had the registry NAR, and for example, the Raven, the ship that that 709's parents were on, that was NAR 32450, I think, or something like that. You had Helios 12 on card was also NAR, something or other. So yeah.
Well, remember the SS Vial is a Raven type. I don't have a class name on it because we don't know the actual class name. I'm not going to call it the Raven class because just because we don't know the class of it does not mean I'm going to just name it after the first ship. But it's a modified one that has a larger computer core, expanded shuttle bay, and a holodeck.
I thought this was funny. Just completely off topic here. I thought this was funny. I was looking up the besides stating the obvious there, Elihu. I saw that I was looking through the names of different Star Trek starships, and there's actually one. I don't know why I found this funny, but there was actually one that was called the USS Constantinople.
Yeah. Istanbul was Constantinople now.
Yeah, now you know
the Crazy Horse, and I'm wondering why there wasn't a ship called Wounded Knee.
Well, there are some names that are appropriate for a ship, and there's others that aren't. I mean, in the Deep Space Nine documentary, What We Left Behind, during their Deep Space Nine season 8 episode 1 feature that they had on it, Ezri Dax's ship is called the USS Emmett Till. Well, there's no reason to call a ship Emmett Till. That has nothing to do with ships. It has nothing to do with exploration. It's just them wanting to remind people of Emmett Till. And so, I mean, Emmett Till should have a park named after him. It should have a street named after him. But a Federation starship, we shouldn't be, they should not be naming ships after that.
Darren, the number one thing is that we had on TNG twice is the Yamato, the flagship of the Japanese Imperial Navy.
Right. I understand. My grandfather got kind of disgusted when he saw that episode and it had the USS Yamato. I'm out of here, and he stopped watching TNG. But the makers of the show said they were thinking more along the lines of the anime Yamato cartoon when they named it. So it's
funny you say that because I didn't know that at the time, Darren. Yeah. But I thought that the reason they chose the sister ship for the Yamato or sister ship for the Enterprise being the Yamato is the whole two former enemies now working together.
Yeah, that's why Worf was on the bridge.
Sure,
that's the idea I got. Wolf was on the bridge, Klingon on the bridge, and the Yamato.
We're talking about ship. We're talking about ship names, John, not character placement. So you had the Hood, but you know what? They'll never have a USS Bismarck on Star Trek.
I was just about to fucking say that. You beat me to it. I was waiting for a pause, and I was going to say the Bismarck.
There is a Bismarck in Starfleet. Look it up.
Not canonically. I mean, it would be an interesting joke to have the Hood and the Bismarck attacking a Borg ship or something. That I understand, but they'll never do that because the backlash.
I want to see the USS Titanic.
Of having a Titanic was a civilian ship, they'll never name it after that. But although we do have a class of ship called the Olympic, which was a sister.
You mean
ship to the Titanic?
You mean the NCC 701 Hood, USS Hood, the Excelsior class, 1703?
Well, right. We saw the Hood. The Hood we saw because that was a British ship. Yeah. That's fine. Yeah. But you'll never see a Bismarck, is what I'm trying to say, Elihu.
Oh, I thought you said Hood.
Twice now. I said. Okay. Yes. Try to follow along. Put your fucking bowl down and listen. Okay. This is what I said. I said you'll never see the USS Bismarck and the USS Hood, for example, attack a Borg ship together, because the Hood and the Bismarck are like Batman and the Joker. Okay, you don't, and they're never going to have a Bismarck in Starfleet because the backlash from that would be something they don't want to deal with.
I did not hear the word together. Okay, that's the problem. I heard that word together.
Yamato has a different, it's also the name of a fantasy ship in modern anime.
I get it. I just did not hear the word together. Okay, I get it. I heard everything you said. I just not heard the word together.
Yeah, but the simple thing is, like he said, I was going to say the same thing before he beat me to it. was you're never going to see a USS Bismarck in Star Trek. It's just never going to fucking happen.
Yeah.
Look it
German
up
names
on,
German names in general. I was very surprised when I found out that the class of the Endeavor, I think it was on or the Intrepid in Star Trek Picard was called the Duderstadt class.
Memory Alpha.
Yeah.
You
You don't see very many German names at all, and so for them, and apparently they named it after either a writer or somebody behind the scenes who had died, and her last name was Duderstadt. So
You know what else
That's why they
I
named
never
it.
thought I'd see on Star Trek? An android saying "my mind to your mind." You know what else I never thought I'd ever see on Star Trek? Ships falling in space. You know what else I wouldn't ever see in Star Trek? A Ferengi and a Vulcan having a blood oath. I mean, what do you want?
You're talking
I
about
don't know what you're
Picard, not
complaining
Star
about.
Trek.
It's
Yeah.
still Star Trek is not fully hard science fiction compared to other franchises
No.
like The Expanse.
No, but I mean,
never
but
has
when it comes to naming conventions, it's
But-
they don't always.
Hold on, I'll be right
use
back.
the
I got it
names.
to load you.
Yeah, yeah.
Wasn't it you, Darren, who told me about that when I asked about that for the naval ships, and you said they just go to the next registry that's available?
Usually, yeah. I mean, but you know, again, it's the name that's important, not the registry. But on Star Trek, obviously, it's different because you're trying to sell a product. You know, it's 1701. We saw that, you know, all over the place in Star Trek, so they kind of wanted to keep that. But you know, the Enterprise aircraft carriers didn't have, you know, their CV code and then the hull number and then followed by an A or a B or whatever. They just grab the next one on the.
Yeah, and I think
am
that's
wondering about. The thing
Go ahead,
I'm
MD.
wondering about is that Voyager has like 70,000 something, and then in Deep Space Nine they have space battle with like 40 ships. Shouldn't
Yeah.
they have like thousands of ships?
It depends. I mean, you know, it doesn't mean that that's how many ships they have on active duty right now either. I mean,
yeah.
And honestly, any registry number that's higher than 4 digits long, I don't remember anyway. I mean, I couldn't tell you Voyager's registry number. It's too long. It's 5 digits.
Yeah.
70,000 something.
Yeah. I mean, if you get it up to 6 digits where you can kind of divide it in half, then maybe you learn the first half and the second half. But when you got a 5th digit in there, I don't know, something about having a 5th digit. I don't. Yeah, I don't care for that at all.
We need to have a Titanic starship, damn it.
Well, what I think was interesting.
We do. I can't stop thinking about it now.
They'll never. I mean, okay. How I shouldn't say they'll never. The current Star Trek might do that, especially on lower decks. But there's I think Doctor Who did it best. They said there was a cruise ship on Doctor Who that was called the Titanic, and it was for aliens. And they said, why are you on this ship called the Titanic? He goes, well, it was a recreation of a famous, Earth ship. And I'm like, did they tell you why it was famous? And then nobody knew on the ship why the name Titanic was famous. And that's the
special. Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Well, it would have been famous either way, though, right? I mean,
not really.
It was famous. It was famous when it lifted off, for God's sakes.
No, I mean there's so many people who don't even know about the Olympic and the other one.
Olympic.
Yeah. And the reason why is because those didn't sink. Those didn't sink.
Well, Titanic was hit by a mine.
This was the first consumer-based ship where people could actually get on.
Yeah.
Titanic. Darren, I thought the Britannic sank because it was hit by a mine.
Once it was converted to a warship, yeah, and we don't care about a lot of warships that get killed by mines either. But the reason why the Titanic is the one everybody remembers is because of the tragedy of its sinking. There are people who know all about it, or at least have heard of the Titanic because it sank, but have no idea it had 2 sister ships that were identical.
Well,
that is true. One of the things also was, most people don't know this, is about a decade before the Titanic was commissioned and sank, there was a book written called The Titan, and it had a ship similar to the Titanic, quite really laid out, very similar, and it sank. That was the story, and people thought, oh, this is unrealistic, until after the Titanic sinks.
And Darren, do you know why the Bismarck sank? Do you remember that story?
Nice spelling. You put
The
two U's in there.
Bismarck sank because the captain.
That's because
sank it.
Continuum has 2 U's in it, Elihu. Sorry for interrupting you, John.
The Bismarck committed suicide. Wow.
Well, history records. Sorry, I was in the bathroom. History records that the Norfolk and Dorsetshire sank it after it.
No, they didn't sink it. They disabled it.
Let me finish what I was saying, John. You're blurting out shit right in the middle of what somebody's trying to say. I said history records that the heavy cruisers Norfolk and Dorsetshire sank it after it had been injured injured. I shouldn't say injured. Crippled in destroying the hood.
And I didn't interrupt you. You interrupted me. The Bismarck was disabled, and the captain decided to sink it.
Sprechen nicht. Right? Yeah. Well, that's not what they teach you over here. So
I used to have that.
One day we'll figure out a rhythm of how to talk to each other and not feel like we're interrupting each other. One day.
Well, here's a hint. You wait until they stop talking before you start. That's how you do it.
Yeah, you stop talking every 2 seconds and make a break.
Learn to understand what is a dramatic pause and what isn't.
We'll figure it out.
The Q Continuum books. Okay. I think I remember something. I miss the days. I miss the days of the pocket books. Because you'd go to Barnes and Noble or wherever, Walden Books. There'd be a whole shelf of them. And they were
Walden Books.
That
brings back memories.
They always had really great painted covers that where the artists tried to make the characters look like their television show counterparts and such. It's a fun time.
So, not talking about Star Trek, but talking about Stargate. I'm finishing up. I'm on season 5 of Atlantis. I came across one of my favorite episodes. That was when Ronan and Teal'c got to team up, which I thought was just
that was a good one.
That episode ruled so much. That episode is so awesome.
It is really an awesome one. There was something, though, that I have to say was epically fucked up in it. And because you get towards the end and you got that OIA guy who's, a dick, doesn't like aliens. And he says, well, I've contacted, leadership and they know about this, but now they're going to nuke the place. I'm like, what? I literally was like, wait a minute. We had about, 20, 30 of these guys maybe get through the room. We've already seen a bunch of them get taken down. I'm like, they're never going to make it out of the complex of Cheyenne Mountain because I guarantee you there's a bunch of Humvees with some mounted freaking crew serve weapons up there. They're just going to mow them down.
All right, my laundry's done. I'm leaving. I'll talk to you guys later.
Take care, Darren.
All right, later.
Yeah, overall, it was a great episode. Loved it. Loved most everything about it. But it was just that one point I was like, that is so stupid. It's like you're going to nuke the whole facility because of these guys. Just let him go up let him get in the elevator, let him go up and mow them down and, farm them for XP points.
I needed to check who's talking because other faces are so tiny. The whole problem with Stargate SG-1 was that the defenses seemed so flimsy. I mean, you could have like these fast-firing machine guns, Gatling guns, in front of the Stargate. They never had that. They never even had like when like in the early seasons, the Goa'uld and their Jafar came through. They never even had places to run for cover. It made no sense
Oh,
in a military way.
you mean in the gate room where they finally decided to have
In
that
the gate room.
where
Yeah.
they finally decided to have that Gatling gun in season 2? Yeah, everything was all messed up. There was open places. Yeah, I understand that part. Yeah.
Yeah, the first season.
They should have places to take cover.
Well, that was the thing. I think in the first season was the whole point was they were learning trial by fire, and it was like, okay, we got to have some better countermeasures here.
Yeah, but even in the later
and the extra
seasons,
protection.
didn't have cover. What cover did they have in the later seasons?
Oh, they didn't have much cover in the room. That was one thing they did not do very well. Also, another thing, they never set up countermeasures in that room, like to knock people out, set up something that could automatically shoot remotely, based on that technology existed. I know it did.
The thing
wasn't
is,
the Air Force at the time.
if people go through the gate, just take down the ramp and let them like fall into a cage or whatever. I mean, you could do that.
Yeah, lower the ramp.
Or let them
Raise and
fall
lower the
in
ramp. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Exactly.
gonna put him in. Yep, we're gonna put him in with a bunch of freaking sharks with some freaking laser beams.
Attach you to freaking heads. Yeah, where's Joe Malone at? Come on, we need to talk. We need to complain about this to him. Should I invite him back? Should I invite him up here?
But no, I mean, I'm generally one of the things I will say about Stargate Atlantis that was different from SG1 is a lot of main characters died in Atlantis versus SG1. They all ended up living to the end. I mean, the main characters, except for the one doctor, that she was a secondary character. I can't remember her name, and that was a really, really heartbreaking episode to watch.
And then the actress actually died a few weeks ago.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, I read that on the
Holy
news.
shit.
She did have that cameo. Oh yeah, she did that. Sorry, she did have that. She had that cameo episode where they had all those parallels SG teams coming through the gate. Remember that? She had that cameo episode. Yeah.
Yeah, that was during the Ori arc. Yeah, that was during the Ori arc. But you had in SG, you had in Stargate Atlantis, you had Ford die. Well, we pretty much can guarantee he was dead. Elizabeth died. Carson died.
Warren.
And came back.
Well, a clone came back, but yeah, the original Carson died. So, this was a show that established, hey, this was one of those earliest ones where it's like, oh shit, they'll kill off characters. That was a new concept back then.
I've never been a fan of that. I've never been a fan of The Walking Dead or Game of Thrones where characters die, because you get invested in a character and then the character you were invested in, you wasted your time on that character being invested in it. I've never been a fan of that. Like especially in Walking Dead when Glenn dies, everybody was invested in Glenn. And then he dies. Negan, I'm not going to do spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen the show, but Negan does what he does. And you invested all your time in the character. Or like, Jon Snow's brother, the King of the North. What was his name?
Rob.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Rob, yes. And then he just gets stabbed. And
John?
invested so much time in that character, and then he's just gone.
John,
Feels wrong.
Have you ever read any of the books? Because when George wrote them, his specific point was to get involved in this character, then have the person killed off. That was the point of the books. Like, Main character, yes, great character. They died. You're supposed to leave in the what the hell's going on with the family? What the hell's going on
I
here? That was his whole
I
premise
un-
of the storyline, and they
I
continue.
un-
They honored that in the TV show.
I understand the point. I'm just saying that I am personally not a fan of that.
Yeah, okay.
I
I'm
like
gonna
to
be
follow characters all the way through.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I tried to watch Game of Thrones when it first came out. I watched the first 6 episodes and I was like, this is boring. And then it
You're
comes to the
roboting.
final season. I've got nothing.
You
What?
are robot. You are roboting.
The final
Okay.
season is something nobody should be watching ever.
I have never seen the last season of Game of Thrones. Because I'm like, no. It ended at 7. That was it. That's it.
I
Give me the last
I
season.
watched the first 2 episodes, I think, and I turned it off, and I was like, "What did they do to this show?" No,
No,
I never watched the finale.
it did not end the last season because it's what whole Martin's premise was. It's like you're supposed to get involved, and all of a sudden, what the hell's going on? That was it. That's his premise. It should not have a last season.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I never read the books because I'm going to be honest with you, his books kind of are a little long-winded for me.
Yeah.
But for the first several seasons of Game of Thrones, I did enjoy them and I understand they're a relatively faithful adaptation, but they needed to make changes because of how he writes the books.
Yeah.
Because each chapter or whatnot is supposed to be, I guess, written in someone else's point of view. So they leave out a lot of information that is discovered later in the series. So they decide, we'll just introduce it all at the same time since we're not doing POV stuff. Now, when they no longer had books to base off of is when things went off the rails.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, one of the things I'm going to say this, I've never read the books. I'm not really a sword and sorcery kind of guy. It's not really my thing. Never has been. But, yeah, I mean, I like the Lord of the Rings books. I like the Lord of the Rings movies, not so much the books. I'm just going to say it out loud. I don't care. But when I tried to watch this show, it was boring. And then I had nothing better to watch. It was the 7th season. I'm like, all right, fine. Let me see what this show's about. I'm like, this is really what people were so invested in. I'm like, okay, I watched it. And I caught up right before the season finale. And I remember being like, there are going to be so many fans pissed at this season finale. I am certain of it. And I was right. I was like, thank God I wasn't that invested in this show.
Yeah, people still like the aspect, but they hated this finale. I'm like,
hey, I binged it. I didn't have to bother with 7 years worrying about that show. I was just like, I didn't care. I mean, seriously, I did not care much for that show at all. I do not understand why so many people liked it.
it was good conflicts.
I will say this: George R. Martin has a thing incest. I wonder if him and Stephen King have a tendency to talk.
Well, they both do take 17 pages to describe a leaf falling off a tree. So, hey, there's that.
Yeah, not a huge fan of that type of writing style.
Tolkien did that too. He took like 20 pages to describe a tree.
No, but at least Tolkien and to an extent Martin and King do have character development. My issue is when they spend $20 pages describing a tree or a leaf falling off a tree, but their character development is so-and-so was a retard. And that's it.
M-O-O-N. That spells moon.
That's why I can't stand John Steinbeck as an author. His characters are so one note and one dimensional that I can't read his books anymore.
All I know is
Years.
My favorite author of all time is Howard Philip Lovecraft. How he describes that this abominable creature with tentacles reaching down with slimy features moving towards you, and if you know about this creature, you are going to go crazy because it is a creature with tentacles and eyes, the darkest red you've ever seen, and the bad wings that are coming from its head are going to give you nightmares for the remainder of your life. I love how descriptive Lovecraft was. That's my favorite author of all time.
I don't necessarily know if I have a favorite author. I'd say Simon R. Green has definitely wrote a lot of books I really enjoyed. So is
I
Jim
don't have
Butcher.
I don't have a favorite author. There's a lot of authors I like Piers Anthony, Stephen King, Ben Bova,
Larry
Judy,
Niven,
Judy Bloom.
Peter David,
Yeah,
Greg
Peter
Cox.
David.
Peter David. Yeah, definitely Peter David.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't read anything by him in a long time, but I know what he's known for.
There's an honorary mention I have to do, Mark Twain, because I recently entered into a local election, and Mark Twain did a short story about himself entering a mayor election, 100 years ago, when Mark Twain was alive. And the minute he entered into an election, people accused him of everything. And that was the same for me. I entered my name into a local election, and the stories I heard about me since then, it's incredible.
Yeah, you got to remember Mark Twain said, thanks to the invention of the radio, accents will become a thing of the past.
Hey.
Politics, stay away from it. Always stay away from politics.
Hey guys, hey Vile, I do got to get back. Well, not back to work, but I got to focus on something here, so I'm going to bounce out, man. But good,
Alrighty.
good seeing you guys. All right, you know where to find me. Later.
Later, Florida man. And no, Darren, I'm not bleeding.
LDD.
See, I'm the exact opposite. I love getting into politics. It's a hobby of mine for the last 15 years.
Yeah, unless you literally set yourself up as a candidate, that's when things go wrong.
Oh yeah.
I like talking about politics, but once you set yourself up as a candidate,
I got too much shit in my closet that I don't need coming back out.
yeah.
And I don't need to put family through things that don't need to happen.
Yeah.
I'm totally content with just talking politics, but running, even in a local election, I'm like, hey, yeah, no, that's not me.
Yeah, that was a huge mistake I made. I like talking about politics, but I submitted my name to run as a candidate, and ever since then, it's turned into a nightmare.
Well,
Thankfully,
Yeah, well, we try to avoid political talk on this channel. Just nerdy chat.
yeah.
Well, occasionally I will have a whole stream dedicated to politics, but usually they don't get a lot of views. Like
Yeah.
people,
all right, guys.
either for a sec and then they'll leave.
All right, guys. I'm gonna eat my lunch here, and I got some other stuff to do. So I'll catch you guys on the flip side.
Bye, Bob.
Bye, Bob.
The basic idea is never be a candidate.
I have no intention of political life.
Yeah, that was such a big mistake. Never submit yourself as a candidate in an election.
Well, I would say unless you are completely shameless and don't care.
Technically, that's true, but it's still a nightmare.
don't remember what Alice Cooper said. Welcome to my nightmare. Hope you're gonna like it here.
By the way, File, who is the guy between us?
Right now, that's Elihu.
Oh,
He's
it's
usually on
Elihu.
my channel. He's also co-streaming it on his platforms.
Yeah, I know Elihu. He's been on Salty many times.
Mm.
We've talked before.
That's why I said stranger among us.
Yeah, we talked before.
Oh, I am getting hungry.
Usually when Elihu comes, that's when on Salty's place, it's when Chief Cook comes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, you two are kind of linked.
No, do not connect us like that.
On Salty, you are kind of linked.
Yeah, I've been kind of busy to hop on his streams lately.
He does a lot of religious streams, which I'm not the biggest fan of because, I'm not religious.
Same here.
Same here.
But
I mean, I'll pop in this morning. I gave him a thumbs up, and he was talking about Newton. I'm like, okay, that sounds intellectual. Then they started talking about the Bible. I'm like, okay, at least you gave me a thumbs up, Michael. I'm out.
I don't mind talking about the Bible because I grew up religious, but
You opened your eyes. You observed the 5 measurements of scientific measurements, observation,
no, I'm
hypothesis.
not. It's what I try to explain to Michael. I'm not a hardcore atheist who wants to convince others of it. It's just I just kind of don't care anymore.
There's no such thing as an atheist believer. I hate that. I hate that oxymoron. I'm like, no, we're just nothing. Okay, that's that. Hello, it's not a belief. It's just fact. It's a non-belief. Hello.
No,
It's like country.
what I
It's like country music or military intelligence. Oxymorons.
no, my issue with it, and I'm not going to go into a religious discussion either on the channel too much, but I don't like late atheism with agnosticism, as if agnosticism is just atheism light, because that's not what either one of those words mean. One purports for knowledge, one purports to belief. If you lack a belief, you're an atheist. If you lack knowledge, you're agnostic. That's basically it.
Simple. And what I like is not trying to force what you believe in on others. You believe in what you believe in. I believe in what I believe in. Don't try to force it on others.
Yeah, I totally agree with that statement. Yo, why can't you let somebody be who they want to be? Come on.
Yeah. It's called personal beliefs for a reason. Like the word
Doesn't
personal.
Yeah, doesn't your Bible state, "Judge not, lest ye be judged" itself? Come on, stop judging us.
Yeah.
Well,
Bible,
not,
what you believe in.
remember, it's not just one religion that it exists, so we can't.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm talking about what we are. Yeah, but John and I are talking about one specific religious.
Yeah, we should probably change the subject. It will probably provoke the wrong people.
Hey, are you looking forward to Star Trek Discovery Season 5?
Yes, because it actually is getting good.
Star Trek Discovery is so amazing.
I love the speculation how it's going to end. They're going to have Riker and Troy on the holodeck.
That is great.
That'd be a great ending.
Love that idea.
I'm sure Frank's would be willing to trim his beard down a little bit.
Love that idea. Oh.
I mean, they already released all the title episodes out. All the title episodes I forgot how many episodes they're going to be, but they released all the episode names. Oh, I didn't see that Jordan's got bounced. And I got a Gelojo, so I'll be back in a few minutes.
No worries.
Alrighty.
And unfortunately, this book does not qualify as vintage just yet, as sad as that is to think about. Oh, and we got to be quiet so Bird can say his thing.
Hello world, it's Birdo55, Kapla.
Kapla.
How you doing, Bird?
Not too bad, just glad to get here before you're off the air today.
Well, I'm
I don't
hoping to
know.
stay up long enough just to get to 20 listings.
Oh, how far are you?
Listings? What does that mean?
I'm posting stuff to my eBay store,
I get that. Yeah.
and
saying
I
you-
am including 2 drafts that I didn't put because I got to fix some mistakes on there. Or not mistakes. I got to do stuff that I can't do right now. I am at... Sorry, I got to bring up the thing on the other device.
What are you actually trying to do here?
Well, I have an eBay store because I've been selling stuff as a side business for almost 15 years now. I think maybe even over 15. I'm not exactly sure how long I've been doing it. And because of the Christmas and holiday season, my listings dropped from 400 to less than 350. So I'm trying to get that number back up, and I finally hit 400 again, which was my pre-Christmas number. And I figure, why not try to get up to 420, because Elihu's always on the stream, and 420 is very significant to people like Elihu.
It's a shame, Vile. You were closer to me.
1 second. Why would the holiday season reduce your listing?
Because people bought stuff. Every time someone buys something, the number of listings decreases. And the holiday season is when I sell the most stuff.
If you were closer to
buying stuff
me,
for Christmas.
you'd have a virtually unlimited source of things to sell.
Well, I've got I've got like 5 boxes of stuff that I got to take pictures of to post. If I had like nothing but time on my hands and I could just do the research, clean, fix, and post stuff, I'd probably have over 1,000 listings. But because of my day job, because of trying to make videos, because I do streams and stuff, I don't have, unlimited time to work on the store, because, the store doesn't make all that much money. So it's not my primary form of income. It's just a side business, but it technically does sponsor the YouTube channel because the store pays for StreamYards. The store pays for various things. So, I mean, the whole reason I started my YouTube channel back up was to promote the eBay store.
And basically, that's what Sunday mornings is. Kapla, Bird.
Kapla.
How's the snowfall in Queens? I heard it's getting 3 to 4 inches.
It was yesterday, but yeah, we woke up. Was it yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yesterday with surprise snow. Yeah. Yesterday with surprise snowfall. We had to get our guy who usually he calls us, and at 7 a.m. I hadn't heard from him. I messaged him. He's like, dude, I'm in New Jersey. We didn't think there was going to be any snow. Like the earliest I can get to was like 4 p.m. I was like, well, shit, I told him, I was like, well, I'm gonna have to try and find somebody sooner, but I'll let you know. He's like, yeah, no worries. And then like an hour later, I heard from him. He's like, wait, it turns out I'm coming home sooner than I thought. I'm gonna be there at 10 a.m. I was like, okay, that's good.
That means he got multiple calls.
Yeah,
Like, where are you, Dad? Where are you?
He spoke to Mom when he got here. He's like, yeah. Everybody started calling me. They didn't realize he was in New Jersey, where the snow was even worse. So the job he was going to do in New Jersey got snowed out. So he came home to do his side job, which is basically, shoveling people out. He had quite a few people waiting, and which is also a shame because early in the morning, a random guy did come through and ask if he wanted to be shoveled out, but we were waiting on our guy, so we had to tell him no. I mean, I don't know. I kind of miss. Like I feel like if we don't take the chance of letting somebody else do it, honestly, we never get an idea if maybe he's better. He could be better and cheaper than the guy we've got. I don't know, but
I would have told him, sorry, but maybe next time.
Kronos, that is my
Wait,
problem.
what the hell is going
Violet,
on?
can you put names back in, please?
Sorry, hang on.
Please put names back in.
Sorry, I'm watching the news and there's breaking news. A whole bunch of cops in front of a building. Then it went to commercial. I'm like, well, gee, thanks, news. Sorry. I'm like, what the hell?
take care, Gorilla, if you're still here.
No, he left almost 10,
That was
15
10
minutes ago.
ago, yeah.
Crap. Kronos.
God block, Ronan.
Oh yeah, that's Kronos.
Kronos,
around
why'd
again.
you change your avatar?
He's a moopsie. That's why.
Moopsie.
Oh. That was from a Lower Decks episode, right?
Yeah. It's the Lower Decks
I-
episode that made Salty love Lower Decks.
I don't watch Lower Decks.
Whoa.
I
that's
love Lower
impressive.
Decks. Every episode to me is like a love letter to Trek.
Hey, Captain.
No, it's a rip-off and a copy,
Hello,
and
Captain.
it's a derivation, and it's just leeching off something from the past.
Well, I don't consider it that because it's made by the same company.
Yeah, it's basically Star Trek comedy, but
Not
not a cartoon
made
version.
by the same company. Secret Hideout is not the same
Okay,
company.
what I mean is, sorry, the parent company that owns the Star Trek license is making it or paying for it, I should say. So then, as far as I'm concerned, if it's the people who own the franchise, they get to decide if it's part of their universe.
Giving out a license. Do you know a Civilization Call to Power? Have you ever heard about Civilization Call to Power? It's when the company that owned the Civilization franchise gave a license to another company to do Civilization Call to Power. That's video game stuff.
Continue. Go ahead.
It's a completely different thing made by a completely different company. They were just licensed to be allowed to do it, but it had nothing to do with the original.
Paramount
Same
has
with,
to okay. Sorry, John, but Paramount.
XCOM.
Sorry.
Same with like XCOM, the Alien games. XCOM Enemy Unknown.
Let me put it to you this
XCOM
way, John. I'm posting Star Trek books. Now, the Star Trek books are part of Star Trek.
Yes.
But they are not considered alpha canon.
Yes.
So they are a licensed product, but not alpha canon. The
Exactly.
owners of the franchise get to decide what is canon and what is not canon. And the books are canon to the book series, but not necessarily canon to the rest of the franchise and what they call alpha canon. Same thing for Star Wars and Legends. Same thing for Transformers and the different shows they have there. Same thing for every other major franchise that has ever existed that has multiple medias.
The problem is when creators die and things get inherited, things get a bit fishy.
That's
And,
why I say it's the owners of the franchise that get to say that.
Yeah, Paramount has to okay these. Paramount has to okay these episodes. Like, okay, this is canon. This is acceptable to us. They have to okay the script before they actually make it.
Like,
but
for
yeah,
example,
there's the whole Viacom, CBS, Paramount. You know, none of us can figure out what is Viacom and CBS and Paramount.
Well,
They
Paramount
still haven't worked it out between themselves. CBS was a company that rejected Star Trek for multiple times, and then Star Trek was on CBS. It's different companies that are trying to work it out between themselves. Who is actually owning what franchise?
I believe Viacom has the rights for when it comes to airing. Paramount has actually the IP rights, I believe.
I thought they're all under the same umbrella now that Viacom and CBS were able to merge again.
Yeah, they are now, but the whole confusion is
back then.
What is Viacom? What is CBS? What is Paramount? And Star Trek originally came from Paramount, I think, and CBS was always against Star Trek, and they didn't want Star Trek on their channel. And then they all merged, and then they all did that. We decide what canon is because we are like one big happy family now. The Dominion and the Breen and the Jem'Hadar and the Cardassians. We're all just one big happy family now. And then Damar goes to his mirror and spits his canar at his mirror.
Oh no, Canar. That's disgusting. Sick drink. Oh man, you must be drinking maple syrup. Hey, at least I know what Canar is.
Yeah, we all know how canar was made. It was like some.
I'll be honest with you. When I looked at canar, the prop that they used, to me, I always pictured it tasting like Jägermeister.
Oh, that's it was like oily.
No, it was
maple syrup to me. No. Look like
It
an
was
oily
like
maple syrup.
Jägermeister is delicious.
Yeah, it is.
Jägermeister on steroids. I think they made
It's
it
fish
thicker.
juice.
Jägermeister is best when mixed with something. I'm sorry, people who drink Jägermeister straight have something wrong with them, and that's probably why
it's
very
fine
popular
if
drink.
it's very,
disgusting.
very cold. That's
It's
you see, if you do
disgusting.
Jägermeister super cold, it's perfectly decent. That's the whole thing. That's why they make tap machines.
Or a Jaeger bomb with a Red Bull splash in it.
No, a
Actually,
Jaeger bomb is dangerous.
What Bert said, if Jägermeister is at near freezing temperature, it's drinkable. Yeah.
That's been
But,
years
room
ago.
I mean, that was the
temperature-
company I worked for.
Yeah.
Okay, we
Room
made the tap
temperature-
machines so that you could
Yeah.
get the Jägermeister at colder than freezing degrees.
At
Zero.
in-
You know, zero
at 0
Fahrenheit.
Celsius, it's nice to drink.
It's probably even better at zero Kelvin.
Yeah, block
I don't know
of ice.
if you could drink that.
It's a block. Come on, solid. We can't get 0 Kelvin here on Earth, please. I don't know. I might be a zombie, Kronos.
And I recently rewatched the entire Damar arc of Damar becoming the leader of Cardassia and then dying a martyr death. I love Damar. I also watched the episode. The first episode he showed up in was Return to Grace, where Gul Dukat captured the Klingon bird of prey. That was the first appearance of Casey Biggs as Damar, and he was always a great character. This
Have you seen season premiere of Resident Alien?
I haven't seen any of that show, to be honest.
What?
I saw a
What?
clip and I'm like, I
It
want to see
started
this.
again?
What?
Yeah. Yeah, episode 3, season 3, episode 1 dropped 2 days ago.
Is it
What?
streaming on any station?
I believe it's streaming on Netflix.
I think Resident Alien, wasn't it on Hulu?
Or Hulu. Yeah, I forgot which platform it's on. Sorry. There's too many of these now. Like, I get confused. But season 3, episode 1 has been released. I watched it last night. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, I want to watch that because the first half of season 2 was kind of super woke and super annoying, but the second half of season 2 got really good.
Linda Hamilton as General. Oh my gosh, she killed that role.
Yeah. The first half of season 2 was just kind of crap, but the second half, that was great.
Yeah, the second half, the first season was a little slow, but when it picked up.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Bird hasn't seen it yet.
And obviously,
I'm
we
so
all
far
love,
behind in all types of shows.
Resident Alien is one of the most underrated shows of the modern age. I know the first half of season 2 was kind of crap, but the first season was great, and the second half of season 2 was great. And Alan Tudyk, is
Turdick.
that pronounced correctly? Tudyk?
Ellen Turdick.
He's an amazing actor, and I love the his co-lead, the Native American woman.
I forgot her name.
I actually love all the characters and actors in that show. It's like a family show. You just
I like her dad, the old dude.
it's such a family show. You just
Yeah.
like all the characters. Like the mayor and his wife and the little kid.
The sheriff, the deputy.
Yeah, the sheriff. Yeah.
You know why they're coming Big Black? Your truck? Because your truck? Are you trying to be funny? I love that. I mean, it does make sense because your truck.
You know why they call me Big Black? Because of your truck.
Yeah, Kronos, he always is behind. Like, he's always 15 to 17 minutes behind on the chat. He's always behind. That's why it's now kind of obvious sometimes behind the chat. We tell him, hey, pulling a bird, catch up.
Bird like me is listening to some other stuff in the background.
Oh. I forgot. I stopped so I could do something, but I can actually go back and start.
You mean you forgot to unmute yourself?
Kronos.
No,
you're
I knew
always
I was.
noted.
I wasn't muted. I'm talking about so I can show people what I'm posting.
Oh,
Chat Lives Matter. Did anybody ever listen to last year? Andrew Robinson brought out an audiobook version of Stitch in Time, the backstory of Garrick.
no, I haven't heard. Haven't heard it.
No,
I downloaded it, but I haven't listened to it yet.
Come on, Daytona's canceled. What else are they gonna put on? Sheesh. I don't care if Becky Muniz is not driving. Physically or mentally, Kronos?
well, I can bring up one thing that I watched recently because I didn't realize it was already out because I'm stupid.
This is a family show, no porn.
I watched Evil Dead Rises because I love the Evil Dead series.
Oh, okay. Hail Ashley.
I haven't watched it. I like the remake. I watched the reboot by. Was it? No, that wasn't by Zack Snyder. The Dawn of the Dead reboot was by Zack Snyder. But remake the Evil Dead
Rising.
remake.
If you
No, the
liked
first one.
the Evil Dead
Girl.
remake, if you like the Evil Dead remake, you'll like this one.
Okay, I like the remake.
It's definitely more horror than comedy, and still just as gory, still just as weird.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I think it's actually better and worse in some ways.
Yeah.
And I don't want to give any spoilers away.
Kronos, I
But-
noticed you too. Just FYI.
I really like the Dawn of the Dead remake by Zack Snyder because I watched it in Waukesha, Wisconsin, where it basically plays. When we were in a theater.
I'm sorry. No. Zombies are fast moving. We do not want to see slow motion zombies. Okay? No.
I like slow motion zombies.
The only kind of slow motion zombies was perfect was Shaun of the Dead. Okay? Well, we all just go to the Winchester, have a pint, wait for things to chill over.
The thing is, why slow motion zombies are dangerous, is because there are so many of them.
Yeah.
It's like a human wave attack. You run out of bullets before they run out of zombies.
And yeah, that I completely agree with you. It's more of them being a wave of danger, not just a single, thing.
Yeah, but he
If
made
it
fun
was
of it.
like
He was running
10
and had
of
to
them.
stop.
It's like 1 million of them, or 1 billion. How do you defend against that?
Find more bullets.
Yeah, but they keep coming. They keep coming. They keep coming.
Flamethrower.
Keep coming.
All right, I have one more listing, and I'll hit 420.
420, yo, 420,
420.
yo,
Everybody's
420.
favorite number.
Yeah, I'm about to load a bowl for that. Hang on. Let me redo my bowl.
Somebody should replay Cross on the chat.
Damn it.
All right, the last two things I have are I'm out of Star Trek books right now. I've got more to take pictures of, but not these are only things I've taken pictures of already. Both are McDonald's toys. One is a Disney toy. The other one is a BattleBots toy. Which one should I post?
McDonald's.
They're both McDonald's toys. One is a BattleBots toy. One is a Disney toy. Which one should I post?
Disney.
BattleBots.
Disney.
We got
Disney's
one and
more-
one. John, you're the deciding-
Disney.
Disney's more popular on what the algorithm than the BattleBot.
All right.
McDonald's toy.
Mickey Mouse.
Hold on.
Can you be more specific?
Lyle, do you have any limited editions? That's what I needed to sell when I lost my last job. But you
Limited
can
edition
make
what?
lots of money of it, from it.
Limited edition what?
Limited edition anything. You can make loads of money from it. I had to do that when I lost my last job.
Well, the first thing I posted was 4 Minecraft creeper toys that were only released during San Diego Comic-Con 2022 that are limited to only 3,000, and I posted 4 that I'd picked up.
Hey, Kronos, you actually typed it correctly because Almond Joy comes in 2 in the package. So if you're having a Almond Joy, you're technically having 1. But if you're having an Almond Joy, you're having the whole entire package. Yeah, I'm a grammar jerk sometimes.
When I lost my job, I sold a CD, music CD for 1,000 euros. Oh, I regret it so much.
Well,
It was such a
few weeks-
limited
I had
edition.
to sell something to make some money. 2 things within the last couple of years when I needed extra money. One was I sold a Magic the Gathering Black Lotus card for $600, and I sold the Fallout 3 Van Buren beta disc for review purposes only that I'd picked up for I know a guy, I think I ended up selling it for about 900, but I previously had turned down an offer of 1,000 because I didn't need the money at the time. But when I needed the money, I ended up selling it for only 900, I think.
Dude, Vile, that's the thing I'm trying to tell you. You're going to regret it so much. You're selling it for a price, and 5 years later, it's going to be even more, like 10 times more valuable. I regret the things I sold when I was in a needy situation.
Yeah, but if you need the money now,
I
Doesn't
needed the
matter
money to
what
pay off a
it's going to
car.
be in 10 years.
Yeah, but you're going to regret it so much later.
Well, you wouldn't. Well,
You wouldn't what? Come on,
the
Bird.
fact that you'd be there to regret it.
Like you're in New
No,
York.
Bird,
You're in New York. Finish that sentence, Bird.
Bird, I think, were you there when I told the story about how I sold my bitcoins, who at the time were the price of like 5,000 per bitcoin?
No.
Now they're like 50,000. And
But I can imagine everybody's got the same Bitcoin story.
yeah, I'm so furious.
Be glad you didn't buy an NFT.
All right, I am
sold
officially at 420 now.
420, yo, 420, yo.
Wasted my money. Oh man.
Well, I'm at 419, but I got the one draft.
You got micro deposits to confirm.
Yeah, that's because I changed bank accounts for the eBay store, so I got to redo that
Yeah.
whole thing. It's annoying.
420, what you smoking? 420, what you smoking?
But Vile, the thing about collectible items, I had a few. I had to sell a few of them as well. You never
Well,
know
I
what
got
they're
things in
going.
my personal collection, and then I have the stuff I sell. That's two different things.
You never know what they're going to be worth, especially Magic the Gathering cards. How?
Those fluctuate like the stock markets.
Yeah, Magic the Gathering cards. That's not something you should ever sell. That's something I really regret.
Yeah.
Because they increase in value so much.
Yeah, your $300 card could be worth 65 cents in the next day. I'm like, wow. It's like
Yeah.
what's in the stock market?
Kronos, you've
Do-
never
Well-
used eBay? That's
I have not yet sold my other Black Lotus, which was in better condition, because that one has that one has more of a sentimental value, even though it's worth more money. Because that's the one I got for winning one of the LA convention tournaments.
If the zombies are after you, Kronos, you better just casually
Ah.
walk away.
All right.
I heard a beep.
I had so many.
That
online-
was me getting ready to do certain things so I can. I'm going to smoke a cigar and then I'll probably end the stream since I now have 420 listings. So if me and Mrs.
Whoa.
Vile
420, what you
later.
smoking? 420,
Wait,
what you
kids,
smoking? 420, what you smoking?
Okay, you can
You
stop that,
just-
Elihu.
I just did.
Did you just say porn or 20 listings?
Yes, 420 listings.
Okay.
Yay, I can go to the picture shop. It's not
Well,
raining
I
yet.
said I'm going to finish this. I'm going to smoke a cigar and then I'll start to head out.
Got a flood watch this afternoon. Damn.
Smoking is bad.
Well, what do you think the CNA stands for in CNA stream?
Cannabis?
Caffeine, nicotine, and alcohol.
I thought it was cannabis, nicotine, a bowl of weed.
No.
Oh, okay. But I do have my caffeine.
Yeah, here.
Who's the-
Because I
what
don't
did-
think John has ever actually seen it.
What got Vuk
This-
Kronos?
This is my store on eBay.
Oh.
Can't see anything.
You don't see anything?
I don't see anything sharing.
I'm sharing the screen.
I
No one else
see
sees it?
the SD game
One-
spot.
Okay, then my screen
I'm-
freeze or something? Because I don't see anything on the screen.
Yeah, it
Yes.
froze. It's showing on both YouTube and
Okay.
Backstage.
Then my screen froze. Oh well. At least you guys can hear me though.
And like, if you click the Star Trek thing, it'll bring up including all the stuff I just posted. All the Star Trek stuff I got listed, movies, games, toys.
They're there.
So mostly books, but I got a couple of movies on Blu-ray, DVD, con figure, Star Trek Funko Pop. I don't think I have much for Star Wars right now.
Did you ever-
Nobody wants to watch Star Wars or think about Star Wars or talk about Star Wars.
Why not? The Phantom Menace is in the theaters for limited time release.
I don't want to even think about Star Wars anymore.
I'm thinking about going and actually seeing that in the theater on IMAX.
Sonic. Do.
Star Wars is done for me.
At the Star Wars Cantina.
I'd be really upset if that's the Star Trek graphic that represents all Star Trek now.
The reason I chose that one specifically, Bird,
Oh, you get to
is
choose it?
because well, I did get to choose it, but I had to choose one that is not technically copyrighted by CBS at the time. One that is not Why is there an echo?
There's no longer an echo because I was opening up my YouTube because my screen froze. I can't see what you're talking about. I had to open my phone up.
And because that one doesn't have the Discovery logo underneath it, it was considered not trademarked, so I could actually use it on my store. That's why I had to use that one, Bird. The list of
Actually,
So you're
Trek
telling me
logos
that
are not copyrighted by
Star
CBS
Wars
or
symbol
Queen.
to the left is not trademarked?
Believe it or not, they allow people to use this one. That's why I was able to use it.
Interesting.
Star Trek is a little bit more finicky when it comes to their logos being able to be used on eBay. It's also why I was able to let me scroll over. Notice for the Transformers one, I could use the Autobot symbol, but I literally was not allowed to use the word Transformers on it. Because they really don't want people to use the word Transformers to describe Transformers. It's a weird quirk about their copyright and trademark stuff.
That is weird.
It's funny, your Mama Pray today mentioned, I was talking to her about something, and she said, "Oh, you're not going to get in trouble for using that on a YouTube thumbnail." And I laughed at her. It's like, no, Mama Pray, I've never heard of anybody getting a complaint about using a word in any way whatsoever like that. Now, granted, this isn't YouTube, but I would have laughed my ass off.
There was a list of things I was able to pick from, essentially.
Anybody would complain even on eBay. But wow, okay.
People are overdoing it with the paranoia, but there are certain things that will get you into trouble.
Well, Bird, if you want to think of it this way, it's because I'm literally using their iconography to make money that they are not getting. Does that make sense?
He's thinking. I hear those. I heard a hamster wheel.
Now, what was the question?
Okay, the reason is because I'm using their iconography to sell items that they are not going to make money off of.
Right,
That's why I'm fairly limited in what I can choose.
I get you.
There's one word you are never going to be allowed to say on YouTube. That is the S word. About
I still think it's stupid, but I get it.
Your existence coming to an end. That S word. You are never going to allow to say that.
Unless you were singing the theme song to the movie MASH.
I mean, I'll say it on my stream all the time. I don't care.
Yeah,
my
channel got shit restricted out of it for saying the S word.
Sheesh.
Because I talked about that subject and apparently it's offensive to everybody and it's offensive to all of humanity to say the S word.
Well, I think it's not offensive. I think they're worried that people will take you literally and do it.
Why would anybody?
Because people are stupid. Haven't you figured that out yet?
I mean, there are people on the edge already. Doesn't take a lot to push them over.
Yeah, it does. Certainly, it doesn't take me. Who would ever listen to me?
What? What were you? Who just said that? What?
Elihu, you just wanted to end your own existence because you listened to me? No, because who would listen to me? I'm not exactly a person you want to listen to.
Sorry, I gotta tweet something real fast. Hang on.
So before I end the stream, what else you guys want to talk about?
Cross says winter's coming. No, actually, winter's ending. I've seen the first flower today, and yesterday the first geese returned to northern Germany. Yes,
I'm
geese.
sorry. I live in Southern California. What is winter?
Every winter the birds leave and go to like Italy and Spain and whatever, and then in spring they return.
I'm still confused because birds don't leave Southern California. They come here on occasion, but they don't just
And
leave.
I also know that from my girlfriend who grew up in Brazil. They don't know bird migrations, but birds over
I,
here
I
they
think
fly south.
I have a
and,
better explanation
what-
of winter, dude. A better explanation
Go
would
ahead.
be, oh, open your freezer. See that stuff that's on the edges and the top and the side of the bottom? You scrape that off. That's on the outside of the ground everywhere, and it's really cold out. That's winter.
I'm sorry. I'm still confused. We don't have that in Southern California.
No,
and
bullshit.
my
There were
why am
days
I-
I woke up and there was ice on the window of my
And-
rental car.
By Mike, where do
Until
you
Are you
like
talking about the
9
time of the
a.m.
year where we only run our air conditioner during the day?
Yeah.
why
Yeah,
am
well,
Mike?
at
Where do
night
you live in SoCal?
it gets cold.
Sorry, say that again, John.
Where do you live in SoCal?
I live in San Diego. That's what the SD and SD Game Swap stands for.
Oh,
San Diego.
you live in southern California.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the joke I'm making, John, is because we have fantastic weather throughout the year.
Yeah. No, my ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, SD does not stand for super dish. Okay.
Philip Gaming is from the same area as you, but my ex-girlfriend, she was from the San Fernando Valley. She was a Valley girl. That's why I say like
Oh.
so much.
I know Phil. We actually met up
girl.
once just to take a picture together.
Yeah, he's from San Diego.
I thought
too.
you were supposed to
Yeah.
con him. I thought you were supposed to con him into helping you clean out your storage garage one time. That
No,
didn't
he
work
was
out
gonna
well, did it?
he was gonna help me film a commercial, but we just couldn't time things correctly because I needed Caddy and I needed Vile Style. Those are two of my kids. And we needed him all available on the same day. And once Caddy got a job, it made things harder because he can only work certain times. And considering I wasn't going to pay him, he was going to do it free of charge. So,
Yeah.
Actually,
But,
I think that Phil should get a serious acting job because he does have a good voice. He could be an actor.
Well, he is. He does audition besides being BGA. He does audition for roles.
He's been an extra many times, but I think he could be an actor because he does have a good voice.
Yeah, he does
He's like
BGA
a
work
good.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, extra. Sorry, BGA, background actor, extra. Sorry, I forgot. Vernacular.
Yeah.
Hell, I got off on the part, but I'm not going to Atlanta to audition.
Elihu, where are you actually from?
I originally came from my mother's womb after conception with my father.
Okay, that is self-evident, but geographically,
Oh, unfortunately, Phoenix, Arizona. But now I
that
live in
seems
San
fine.
Francisco.
Unfortunately, why
Yeah.
would you say? Why would you say it that way?
Well,
Because he's close to that bill.
when I no, when I was a teenager growing up, I can go out my backyard and see the night sky. Awatuki was a 30-person town. It was a day drive to Apache Junction. Now you're lucky to see Venus. That city grew up so fucking fast.
That's impressive.
Yeah, going to Apache Junction now, it's just basically you're driving through the city. See, oh, you're
Yeah,
an AJ
it's
now.
very
Okay.
unfortunate.
I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to be able to go to North Mountain, look out, see a small little patch, that's Phoenix. See a patch, that's Scottsdale. Now you got city, neighborhood, Scottsdale, neighborhood, Tempe. Like, what the hell, Mesa? What the hell? It's expanded so much. Used to be a field before you had to get to Camelback Mountain. Now there's houses right on the base.
Yeah. Rawhide used to be.
Oh, I
some
used to go to Rawhide all the time as a
more
kid.
distant. Then they moved it, and then it got all filled in. I
I
don't know if
remember
they moved it
Rawhide.
again.
Damn, I remember Rawhide as a kid. My first cowboy
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah, I was there as a kid too. There was the goats would eat food,
Yeah, I
eat
used to
your
put the
ice
little
cream.
I used to put the pelts in my sister's back pocket. I remember that.
Mhm.
You used to go to Lagoland?
I don't know about
I don't
that.
go to Legoland that often.
No, Ladmo Land.
Oh, I
Sorry,
thought you were
in the
mispronouncing
wrong
Legoland.
pipe.
No. Wallace and Ladmo?
I'm still not entirely over it. I got something in the wrong pipe.
So you fail at breathing and drinking the world your basic essentials of life. Wow. You suck at being a
Yeah.
human, man.
We all do it.
Did you pan for gold at Rawhide?
No, I was a kid when I went, so I was mainly with the
Yeah,
horses and the
obviously
petting
as a
zoo.
kid.
Oh. No, I didn't
You
pan.
don't make adults. A whole lot of adults panning for gold.
Nah, I didn't do the panning gold thing. I was with the horses.
Well, it's entirely set up, but the Vile Child, when she was much younger, we did a panning for gold thing, and she found some iron pyrite because they don't do actual gold there, but she found some iron pyrite and stuff. And I got pictures on the Facebook page of her doing that, and it's almost 20 years ago at this point. No, more like 15. I'm sorry.
I wanted to go panning for
I
gold
heard a
when I
lot
went
of
to
those
Alaska.
places where you thought you were getting pyrite was actually really gold.
Trust me, this wasn't.
You should.
Yeah, they'll
you should
tell you.
double
They'll
check.
tell you. They'll let you know you're panning for pyrite is experience only.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. I gotta go pick up Mrs. Vile. So I'm gonna end with a new one. At least I think it's new for the channel. We'll find out. Elihu, the audio has been fixed on this, or so you don't have to remove your headphones. And NB, you're joining up again just so I can leave.
NB is joining as soon as.
Later,
Wow.
folks.
Bye, Bob. Bye, Bob.
Never saw the sun shining so bright. Never saw things going so right. Noticing the days hurrying by. When you're in love, my how they fly. Oh, blue skies, smiling at me. Irving Berlin. Nothing but blue skies do I see.
Man.
All right, you're 19 years old now. I figure it's about time you got one after all your complaining. And John, you don't know, I always end the stream on that clip of Caddy shooting me.
Die, Daddy, die.
All right. See you next week, guys.